Hello, you divine, infinite human beings. You're all that is, ever has been, and ever shall be. And I'm doing this quick shout out to you, finding a place where it's quiet, and to my awakening human beings on the Isle of Great Britain. So I know the energy is very, very heavy. I've been getting messages from all of you, especially those of you who've read The Infinite Human. And I want to just give this time-sensitive information that I've just gotten and downloaded, and hopefully this will help you, because if you're aware, if you're awake, if you know the truth, and I know the truth, it's all in my book, The Infinite Human, of the whole monarchy, and you're having, difficulty now dealing with a lot of what's going on, okay? Because I've heard that everyone seems to be grieving, and you may even be grieving, which is fine, okay? Because it's huge what is happening, and it is a time to grieve. It really is a time to grieve, okay? Because what's happening is we have many, many identities, all right? We call them past lives, but there's parts of us who bought into this hook, line, and sinker for eons. And what's happening is, first of all, it's leaving a big hole, which is a good hole, okay? But it's a big hole, and it's a loss. And just like a child, especially the grief sometimes is harder when a child has a very abusive parent, perhaps that, does horrible things to them, sexually, verbally, all kinds of things. And when that parent dies, the child usually has a harder time grieving rather than if they had a nice, loving, clean relationship. So what the Queen Mother, and I'm talking about the death of the Queen Mother, the Queen of England, Elizabeth II, what has happened with her is that she has our true divine mother and our connection to the divine, feminine, divine mother, the God source worlds has been co-opted, has been cut off. So we have been like orphans, really orphans, abducted, let's say, by, narcissistic, evil parents that said, your parents don't love you, I'm all you have, now you have to do what I tell you, And so it's like the Stockholm Syndrome, because being Christ beings, and everyone that's listening to this is of the divine human, infinite human race, we love, we just do, and we transfer that love that we've had for our divine mother, father connection to the God source worlds, to our parents in the stars, our star seed families, to whoever is there, because we've been mind controlled. We've lost our connection. So many people have done that for eons, and we've done it in other identities or other lifetimes. So it's the death of a abusive parent, really. Okay, that's the best way to describe it. I'm trying to bring these spiritual concepts and these political concepts and all this stuff down to you, because you're a universe, and so how you feel is really important, okay? So you need to honor this grieving and not feel like, oh, what am I grieving, the ding dong, the witch is dead kind of thing, and honor other people's grieving, because it's a good process, because you have to grieve. And also at another level, a lot of this darkness is being released. Because I know the whole, London Bridge operation, and they're going all over, England, and, all I can feel it from here, all the half-masts and the black bands and the blah, blah, blah. It's just really heavy. And I'm talked to a lot of my dear friends who are energy empaths. So I know it's hard, because you are holding the light right now. And the albium is rising in England. So this is a beautiful time, actually, because we're clearing out all that shadow stuff. And many of you may be called to do some, clearing, some grid clearing wherever you are. Just intuitively feel like you need to just transit a lot of this dark energy out, because the truth is that this person, this soul, the queen, could no longer remain in the physical here, because the energy is rising soul. And as she leaves, all this is being exhumed, eons and eons of England being so strategically co-opted and strategized to be maintained in the lower frequencies using satanic abuse, capturing the Stargates and Stonehenge, all the stuff that's happening, and it's all kind of like clearing out with her, the last monarch, really. Now, of course, people are confused, they're sad, they're like orphan children, they're latching onto the Burger King, whatever his name is, I don't know, can't say that word, and whoever they can, because they're like children. But if you're hearing my voice, you're one of the leaders, okay? So it's time to grow up. And ironically, just a few weeks ago, I lost my mother. And, in my book, The Human, I write a lot about our relationship because it was very much co-opted, because the true Grail lines were very co-opted. And I realized, it's not time to bicker and quarrel with my brothers anymore. It's like I'm getting a lot of responsibility. So this is the time the meek will inherit the earth, and you will be inheriting the realm of England, yeah. And you know what? When you do, it's kind of scary. It's kind of like, oh, wow. So grieve, because you have to get all that shadowiness out of yourself too. Honor your feelings. Even if you do feel sad, that's okay, because your childhood is ending, really. And you are now becoming the leaders, the true Grail lines, the true Elohim Grail lines. And I put a lot of posts on this with Facebook, and I'm going to add this to my blog on my website, www.emptyhuman.com. And I discuss this all in my book. So I hope this helps. More to come, because this is huge, but just for this time, all I can say is honor your grieving. It's really not the time to start, if you can plant seeds to people, but it's not time to get up when people are grieving, and they're looking at, like a abandoned child with their mother, say, wow, your mother was a real alcoholic, and blah blah blah. I mean, yeah, they were, and there's a time for that, but it's kind of like adding insult to injury. And I see a lot of the truthers, and especially here in the States, we Yankees, we don't realize that bond that is genetically been engineered, and that it's really the divine mother and the divine Christ child that's been co-opted. And I got volumes about that, but people are feeling that loss, and it's a good loss because it's going to clear the way for the true divine mother and the healing between the mother and child reunion that has been going around in my mind so much. I'm going to write a whole newsletter on that too. But anyway, so just honor your feelings right now, even if you are feeling sad, and honor other people's, and realize they're going through it, and your job really is just to hold the light, the albion, which is rising in England. So England, you guys are, after you get through this, clearing the shadow, it's going to be amazing. I'll have to come there. It's going to be really off the charts. You're going to lead the way on the planet of Ascension. But exciting times ahead. So you got to grieve. You got to get all that out and let people get it out, because you don't want to stop anyone's grieving. Everyone has the right to grieve in their own time, their own divine time, in their own way, and just respect that, and be loving as much as you can, and transit any of the dark shadow creatures that are now getting out of there, because they can't be held in the albion rising anymore, and they're leaving. And you know what? Don't worry about Ding Dong, which is dead, because you don't want to be in that where she's going or not being able to go. I've seen people say she's going to get another body. No, she's not. And those people, all these dark entities, it's time. It is truly the day of judgment, okay? Karma is finally being fulfilled. And you don't have to wish them ill, because they're getting their comeuppance right now, and it's not good. They're having to go back to the universes from which they came, empty-handed. In the AI thing works out, but long story there too. So you don't have to worry about it. She's getting all she deserves. You really do reap what you sow. And now, those of you, as soon as you can get through the grieving, are you going to inherit the earth? Really, the last will be first, the first will be last, and all these laws and all these things that have always stopped you, and the funds, never having the money, paying out the nose to these wealthy. I mean, you're footing the bill for this funeral in England and the coronation and everything, but you're going to see that these old tactics are not working anymore, and you're going to start. The cards are going to be stacked on your side. So lots of good things to come. So just hold the light, hold the energy, and try to be as loving with yourself and others. And please, if this has helped you, share it, because I don't like to do a lot of media stuff, but I just feel like I have to say this when it comes to me, and I feel like this information is crucial right now to get out to the right ears to hear. All right, thank you for joining me. I don't have my glasses, Ronnie. Please share. Ciao for now.